Hey guys, it's Maymay and it's time to do some more ATCs and I'm going to have some very unconventional fun today. I don't know if this will work. I am just going to play. I have this thought in my head that I want to do and I'm going to lay out a bunch of these guys, like 8 of them at first. These are watercolor ATCs that I cut down myself and I cut them down to 3¼ by 2¼ so when I mount them onto my little cardstock I'll have that little border like I did for yesterday's. I like that look. So to play, here's what I'm going to do. And I'm literally playing. I don't know where this is going to go. I want to show you this. So these are my Memento inks, and I'm going to treat them like watercolor today. And I'm just going to pull out a bunch of different colors. And let's start with like pretty pink, a bright yellow. I want bright colors too. This pretty purpley color. Let's do some red, a bright blue. Like the brighter the better. Like I'm not looking for subdued or subtle colors. I want bright colors. Here's some orange. Also have a green. Okay, let's start with those. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put these off to the side. You may or may not be able to see these, but you'll be able to see which ones I'm pulling as I bring them up. I have a rag that I told you I use this guy for everything. He's handy because I'm probably going to need him. And here's what we're going to do. I have this really old acrylic block that I broke, and it's just something I use for this kind of thing. And I'm going to take one of these Ranger mini misters, okay? And I'm going to mist all of these cards. Just mist them pretty heavily. They'll probably start to curl. That's okay. I'm not stressed about any of that. Then I'm going to take some of this color, this pigment, smash it onto my block. You can see it there. And using my Nuvo water brush, I'm going to drop some water down on it. And I'm getting all these bubbles, but that's okay. None of that will matter. I'm going to swirl that around in my color. And then I'm going to pick this guy up and I'm going to pour it off onto my wet watercolor card. Now this one did not do what my other ones did, which means I did not have it wet enough. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and wet these guys again and get them really wet because I want this to kind of wick away, to kind of run. See how that kind of ran after I did that? That's what I want it to do. Let's do it again. So I'm going to clean this off and use another color. Just like this. Just use orange again. I used orange in my test for this and it was really pretty. So a little on my block. Drop some water down. You don't have to use this little brush I'm using. I'm just using it. And the bubbles really don't matter. They actually add something, so they're fine. So I'm going to drop this down. See how that wicked? That's what I want. And I really don't care where it lands or where it goes. I just want a little bit of color on my ATC. All right, I'm going to clean the orange off. Clean it up off my work surface. Go to the next color. You might want to do these kind of like wet them as you go. I'm trying to do them in mass production. You know I like to do that. So them being wet ahead of time might not be the greatest thing. You might want to wet one at a time. And that's a lot of bubbles. I need more water. So I might even start spraying this because I'm getting more bubbles than water at this point. But that's all right. Let's try it. So I'm going to drop that on. Oh, that's pretty. That's what I want it to do, to kind of run and make color in different places. Kind of shatter around like that. Now, I'm going to move these off to the side. I may or may not add another color. I'm not sure. I'm going to sit these over here to dry. Just out of my way. And I'm not looking for saturation of color. I just want it kind of in kind of different spots. I'll soak this up real quick. Okay, let's do this guy. Let's do him in blue. So again, back to my little block. Adding a pretty good bit. I'm rubbing that on pretty firmly. And I tell you what, this time I think I'm going to spray it. I probably could have just got myself a cup of water. But trying to use what I got in my room without having to go find things. All right, let's drop this on. Oh, pretty. I like how that drug everywhere. That's cool. If I need to, I can touch it. I don't really want to. I want it to kind of do its own thing. That's cool. I'll let that one dry. And I'm just going to keep doing this for all of these that I have, and we'll just see how they turn out. If you don't want yours to curl up, that's not really bothering me. But if you don't want them to curl up, you can always tape watercolor paper down and do them kind of all at one time. But I'm trying to do mine a little different because I want each one to be a different color. And I'm also not trying to cover the entire ATC. I just want blobs of color. That's all I'm looking for. I was afraid that would turn a little green. Oh, it's green that I used. I was thinking that was yellow, but it's green. That one needs a little more. Now that I have all the color on them, I'm going to take my heat tool and dry them. Now that they're all dry, they are going to be my backgrounds for my stamping. And I have gone through my stamp collection and just pulled out some different stamps. And this one in particular, I think is pretty with the butterflies and the dragonfly. I'm going to use that one and a couple more, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So let's put these on a block. I'll start with this little guy here. And this is where you get to play with your stamp sets, which is also super fun, right? I'm going to take out my VersaFine, just like this. I think I'm going to do it on the yellow one to start. So I'm going to bring this yellow one over, and I'm just going to treat each one as a separate piece, even though I did all the backgrounds kind of at one time. I'm just going to ink this up, and then I'm going to sit it down just like that. Let that transfer. Look, isn't it pretty on there like that? And then, in that same stamp set, I'm going to get... So I've taken out the sentiment that says, what can happen when you, and then I've also taken out the word that says dream. I'm going to come right here and I'm going to stamp this down. Now this one is a little bit warped, so I'm just going to work it in my hand a little bit to get it to lay nice and flat. That's much better. Let's hit that with that ink again. And along the side, I'm going to stamp, what can happen when you. That pretty. And then down here, I'm going to stamp dream. And I may come back and do one more thing in a minute, but I'm going to run through and stamp all these like that. Which other one do I want to be a butterfly? Maybe this orange would be a pretty butterfly. Let's put that one there. Stamp it up here. Pretty. Same sentiment on this one. So not all of your ATCs have to be a huge process. You can do something like this, which is simple, but when they're finished, they'll be so pretty. And I'm afraid the color's a little washed out on the camera, because when I look in my camera, it looks a little washed out. But in real life, it's so bright. I love how that looks. All right, I'm going to do one more butterfly. Maybe two more butterflies, and then I'm going to use the others for another stamp I've got. Y'all save that for the other one. We'll save that one for the other one. Let's do this one. It's hard to decide. It's hard to decide. Okay. Butterfly. This is also a great way to dig into your stamp sets, to play. Like, I haven't used this stamp set in a long time, but this is super fun. So on these last ones, I'm going to mix some flowers from our Flowers for Mom set. This will be pretty stamped on here. Maybe I'm going to do this one down in this corner because I think that's pretty. Like so. Look how pretty that looks. And then I'm going to take the sentiment that says love never fails. This is from our layered cross set. I'm going to put it right up here in the top. Look at that. Beautiful. This is what I love about ATCs. I'm going to show you all different things. I'm going to show you simple, easy, quick ones. And you're also going to see me this week do some a little more detailed. Matter of fact, the ones I have planned next, I think are going to be a good bit more detailed. We'll see how those go. I'm going to let this one go up and across. It's just really a fun way to get into your stamp sets and really use them, even if they've just been sitting there for a while. You haven't played with them much. Look at that one. So neat. All right, 2 more. Now, I told you I thought I was going to add one more thing, and I think I am. I think I'm going to come back in and just add some stitching here and there. I'm not going to stitch every single corner, you know, all the way around, but like to the flowers there, and then maybe up from the flowers here. But I want to do them a little different. I don't want to have a perfect square. I might even stop like that. I want it to be very broken and just kind of there. So there's that one. And on this one, I'm going to do the 2 corners. So see, it doesn't have to go all the way around. It just gives it a little extra something. I think I'm going to go across here. Trying to decide if I want it any. I don't think I want it anywhere else. I like that one just like that. Then let's do across here, leading up to that word. And then let's come away from this word. I like it. See, just something different. Something I wouldn't normally do. But I see other people do this kind of stuff and I think, oh, that's so cute. I wish I'd have thought of it. But then I never think of it. So I'm going to do one here. And I think I'll bring this one back around. Yep, just like that. Now I'm going to glue these down. The same bases I showed y'all already. I'm still going to use those till I get those all used up, because I want to make sure I take advantage of those. I'm going to glue this down really nicely. I want it to stick nice and flat. I'm going to mount that on there. And I think I'm going to come back and do one more little touch to these after I get them all glued down. Crystal glaze, one of my favorite things. I'm going to come back to these guys and I want to put some droplets of water on them to kind of mimic or kind of focus on the fact these are watercolor, if that makes sense. So I'm going to come through, and you want to do this last because you're going to let this dry, or close to last, because I still have to put my little sheets on the back, but I'm going to let these dry first before I do that. But I showed you guys how to do that yesterday as far as putting your little art sheet on the back. So I'm just going to let these sit here and dry overnight, but I just want to put some water droplets, and I might put them on the flowers or not. Just kind of here and there to give it a little shimmer or a little kind of moisture, you know, because it's water, right? And you probably won't see much. You probably won't be able to see much, but it looks really pretty in person. I might even make a little trail behind this little butterfly. That kind of runs through the page. That's pretty. Let's do another one of those. Okay, so I have all my little dots on. And in a perfect world, they would kind of change color underneath. Hopefully they will. They may not, but you can see where the little dots are, and it's just kind of an ode to the watercolor. I think it's really pretty. So I'm going to call these done except for attaching the backer to them. And I don't want to do that right now, obviously, because those are wet, but I'm going to show you what I mean. These are the backers that I put on my last one. This is the up, up, and away set. I'm holding this so I don't drop it on my wet dots. This is the ones I did yesterday. So I'll do the same thing for my little sheets and put them on the back. And there is a link in the description to a blog post that'll have that for you. So you can get that and print it out too. All right, guys, that is today's ATCs. If you're in a hurry, if you want to art, but you don't have a lot of time, this is the way to do it. This feels very much like art to me. I had a great time doing it, and it was fun to see how they would all turn out. And it's a good way to kind of dig into your stash. All right, I hope you enjoyed this one. And until tomorrow, when we have another motivation, what is this, March Motivation Challenge, we'll have another little bit of motivation for you tomorrow on the channel at noon. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye.